Hi, I'm Liz, and this is Pippin, the American Kestrel Ambassador here at the Secret Garden. And Pippin is a falcon. Now, one of the questions we're often asked in our educational programs is how can you tell the difference between a hawk and a falcon? And I could talk about taxonomy, and I could talk about how, as we learn more about the genetics of these birds, we're learning more about who's related to who in the bird world. But that's not really what people are asking. People are asking how they can tell the difference between a hawk and a falcon by looking at the bird and observing its behavior. And once you know a few things about them, it's pretty easy to tell the difference. So we'll start with the eyes. Falcon eyes are always dark, almost black. Hawk eyes have a color. They might be anything from gray to yellow to orange to bright red sometimes, but they always have a color, unlike the falcon's dark eyes. And hawks have a rather prominent ridge over their eyes called a supraorbital ridge that cuts down on glare from the sun. Falcons have it too, but it's not nearly as prominent, not nearly as obvious. But they make up for it in a different way. They have a dark mark that runs all the way from their eyes down to their chin called a malar stripe. And all falcons have it. It looks a little different sometimes. On a peregrine, it is a very wide dark stripe. On a little merlin, it's kind of a narrow, somewhat lighter stripe, but they all have it. And it does the same thing. It cuts down on glare from the sun. It's just like when a football player might put a smudge of dark mark under his eyes to cut down on glare while he's on the field. Now let's move on to the beak. The beak is a little bit different in a falcon. It's the same curved, sharp beak that a hawk has, but right in the middle of the upper beak, the upper mandible, there is a little point, and it's called a tomial tooth. Now, of course, it is not a tooth. No birds have teeth. But it is a very sturdy and sharp part of the beak, and they can fit that right in between the vertebrae on the back of the neck of a prey item that they've caught and sever the spinal cord. And that is how falcons kill their prey. So even though he kind of looks like a cute little fella here, he is a fierce bird of prey. Now, falcons are not the only birds that have that. Some kites have that. There is a kite that has actually two little points, and shrikes have it as well, but not hawks. So now let's move on to the feet. I don't know if you can see them very well, but look at these long, skinny toes. Hawk toes are very sturdy, and that's because hawks kill their prey with their feet and their talons and their strength. We already know that the falcon kills its prey with its beak. And these long, skinny toes are absolutely perfect for catching the kinds of things they want to eat. The insects, the large flying insects, they can catch birds and go right through those feathers and grab a bird. They're pretty good for catching mice, too. Falcons also have long, pointy wings that usually cross in the back. Oh, hawk wings are much broader and wider, and they're great for soaring and gliding. These sharp, pointy wings are for speed. And just to give you an idea of how sharp they are, this is a feather that he molted, a primary wing feather, and you can see how sharp it is. It almost looks like a knife. And so those are the primary differences in appearance. But there are some behavioral differences too, and you might have noticed that he's been flapping a bit. That's one thing that falcons do. They'll stand on a perch and they will flap those wings. It might be exercising. It might be just getting off some extra energy that they have. I've seen hawks do it too, but not nearly as often. And the other thing that they do is they are vocal, and I don't know if he'll make any sounds for us today. I was kind of hoping that he might, but no luck with that. So anyway, that's how you can tell the difference between a hawk and a falcon. Thank you for watching.